BrenTech, yeah, where tech is made simple. So Google has started to roll out their latest version of the Chrome web browser on desktop, version 106, and this latest update was made available on the 27th of September, which was late yesterday in my region. Now, as always, if you'd like to see and double check if you have this update, we just head to the menu in the top right, click on Help, About Google Chrome, and the latest version in build now is 106.0.5249.62, and that could be 0.61 or 62, depending on which operating system you are using. Now, once again, due to the 4-week release cycle, there's not really any new features to talk about and to show you. And I think if you are looking for new features in version 106, you're going to be disappointed. And most of the up-and-coming features that Google has started to work on behind the scenes are now hidden behind experimental flags. So although there are so-called new features, they aren't default features and are still unstable features that are hidden behind those flags. Now, if you are interested, just to quickly have a look at one or two of the new experimental flags that have been made available. And the first is you can now translate highlighted text, and both these new flags I'll show you now. I have covered previously in the Canary version when Google started testing them in that preview version of the browser. Now, first of all, to get to the flags, we head to the Omnibox and the address bar, and we enter Chrome://flags. And the first flag we're going to look at is translating highlighted text. And what this is going to do is it's going to let you highlight text and then right click, and then there'll be an option to translate. Now, the flag is called desktop partial translate. So I'm just going to type in desktop partial, and that should be enough to bring up the relevant flag. And it says enables the partial translate feature on desktop, which allows users to translate text selections on the page through the right click context menu. And we changed the default setting to enabled, and then we relaunched the browser to apply that flag. Now, if I head over to Wikipedia as an example, I'm just going to use Wikipedia, and I'm going to head to the French translation of Wikipedia, and you can see already there is an option here to translate that Google will pick up automatically by default in the browser. And then also previously, if you were in a article or a web page where it needed translation, you had an option to translate to English if it was in a foreign language. Now, over and above that, as mentioned, if you highlight some text, now I don't read French, so I'm just going to highlight that text. And if you right click on it now, you'll see translate to English for that partial text. So if I click on that, you'll see now it pops that back up in the Omnibox, French, and then I can translate to English. But as mentioned, these are still experimental features that Google is working on. And as we can see, that is not translating. And then you can just go translate full page, and that will obviously translate the full page. So that right-click context menu, translate to English, hidden behind an experimental flag, but at this stage, currently not working correctly. But that is one of the up-and-coming features that Google is currently working on. And then the next feature, also hidden behind an experimental flag, is that Chrome could be getting an RSS reader in the future, and that's a following feed, which is also in the right-click context menu. So it'll be possible to follow a site by right-clicking on the page and selecting follow site from the menu. So once again, we head back to the experimental flags page by heading to Chrome://flags, and this time we're just going to enter following. And that's enough to bring up the relevant flag, which is following feed in the side panel. Enables the following feed in side panel. And once again, from default to enabled, relaunch the browser. And if I head over, I'm just going to head over to the same Wikipedia article. And you will see now that if I right click on that article or page, I have the option to follow that site or unfollow that site. I've already followed it, experimenting around before the video, but just to give you an idea, you'll see now follow site, and that when that does become stable and Google does roll that out to a stable version, you will see that appear as an RSS kind of feed here in the side panel. But once again, still unstable and not working correctly. But as mentioned, right-clicking, you can follow and unfollow a site now, basically using, it's very similar to an RSS feed now in the Chrome browser, hidden behind an experimental flag. And then over and above those flags, which I've just enabled, just to give you a quick demonstration as to 1 or 2 new features that are rolling out, there's a couple of new behind-the-scenes features, so to speak, for developers that wouldn't be of interest to your average home user. And then once again, we get those all-important security updates that have been made available in version 106 now. Google has rolled out 20 security fixes, and 5 of those are high severity flaws, which is your second highest after critical. And then we get a couple of medium and lows. So even if you are not interested in any of these new flags or any major changes in the browser, it's always good to double check that your browser is up to date, as when we're dealing with 20 security flaws that have been patched in version 106. Your browser is your first line of defense to the online world, so it's always good to double check. So 20 security vulnerabilities have been addressed, and 5 of those are high risk vulnerabilities. Now, if we just head over to the Chrome platform status, they've also deprecated 2 old features. They've deprecated non-ASCII characters in cookie domain attributes, and they've also removed the HTTP to push, and these are old features that are no longer needed in Chrome. So obviously, as the browser moves along and gets updated, Google is deprecating some old features that are not needed. And the next stable release of Chrome version 107, according to the platform status, will roll out once again in 4 weeks' time, and that will roll out next month on the 25th of October 2022. But as mentioned, for Chrome 106, no new features, 1 or 2 hidden behind experimental flags, which are still very unstable, which could roll out in a possible up-and-coming stable version in the future. And then, of course, those all-important security updates in version 106. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.